Good evening, and welcome to the St. Petersburg by Night podcasting network. Tonight, we present to you our Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle, Hounds.
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the heart of night, we rise from shadows, calling at the moon, igniting our battles, cleansing Gaia of an endless bite, until our final days we will fight. Thanks, man, we stand united as one. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Everywhere we run, the wind is at our back. All the worm's forces we will track. From the depths of the ocean to the clouds in the sky, vampires tremble as we learn to fight. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take a final stand. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Everywhere with the pack, let the night be our guide. In battles of honor, we shall never hide. Fuck you, never hide.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Pete by Night Entertainment Network. St. Petersburg by Night is a World of Darkness role-playing community broadcasting from St. Petersburg, Florida. My name is Kent, also known as Misha Kent on all social media, and I will be your storyteller tonight. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Hounds, our second Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition chronicle set in Tampa Bay, Florida, where a young pack of Garou have come as reinforcements to the Sept of the Evening Star to help combat the forces of the Worm and help build the new Garou nation. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all of the social media listed in the description down below, and you can join our community by following that Discord link where you could take part in one of the many activities we have running all month long. We also have a couple new tables starting soon that are looking for players, so come join our community. Now, let's introduce our players. Players, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay. I'll be playing Forged from Failures, Bonara Rune, and we are the pack that doesn't have internet problems on Tuesday.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki and I will be playing Delphine Ruinspeaker, the Silent Strider Theurge, who does not want to incur Kent's wrath.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben. I'll be playing Raymond Gorn, Ghost Council Philodox, and I'm staying out of this.
Hello there, my name is Caity, and I am playing Aurora Rory Woods, the Bonar Galliard, and I'm just sitting over on the bench right now.
And unfortunately, Lilith, the player of our Black Fury Ragabash Juniper, could not join us tonight, but we look forward to her return next week. Players, you have finally arrived in Hell, and your meeting with your old Sept was not what you expected. You were greeted with a jovial welcome home after a rather bumpy road trip. A bridge was built between two of your pack members as Raymond and Forged from Failures came to a bit of an understanding after having not spoken one-on-one for quite some time. They actually had a bit of a bro down of sorts. They kind of got to an understanding, got to know each other a little bit better. Meanwhile, another bridge started to crack and crumble as Juniper and Delphine came to a confrontation over the controversy that was hanging in the background between them over the murder of Delphine's parents. The truth finally came to light. And while Juniper, in her own roundabout ragabash way, apologized, Delphine did not forgive her, demanding evidence to prove that it was justified. Although what evidence could there possibly be that would ever sate such a demand? That being said, now in hell, after a greeting of such positivity, almost a exact opposite from whatever they've come to know about their former sept, with offers of help and assistance for the mission that they've been sent here to do, the pack was knocked back on their heels as they had been given apologies, as they had been given opportunities to forgive their former sept, as they wanted to turn over a new leaf, as they wanted to make good on past wrongs, as even Sean offered an apology towards Delphine, one that she is most unlikely going to take, but he wants to make amends. The pack, shook from the entire encounter, proceeded to express their disgust, their discernment, their frustration, and their concern over the entire matter, their suspicions, to the point that Stakes, their mentor and pack member of the old sept, well, to put it plainly, crashed out on her proteges to the point that she abandoned them, leaving them behind, saying, "Couldn't I just have this? Just for a moment," having not seen her old pack for the way they used to be for so long, only to have it shit on and ruined by her children. So that brings us to now, as the pack has settled in the motel room that was picked up by Rory, an offer of a house near hell given by their old sept, but not quite accepted just yet, as the pack is still figuring out how they want to proceed forward as they are settling in. But speaking of settling in, it's time for Rory to get caught up on the affairs of everything that's happened so far as she meets with her pack leader, Raymond. Let's get to our first scene. It's the next morning after arriving home after that greeting from the sept leadership. The pack was very quiet when they arrived back to the motel room, saying very little before heading to sleep. Rory, there were a lot of unanswered questions about how everything went when greeting the sept. Raymond only gave you assurances that he would tell you about it the next morning and that everyone was tired and just wanted to go to bed. So with those unanswered questions on your mind, you did. You went to sleep. But the next morning, you woke up and you took Raymond at his word that you were going to get answers. So the two of you left to go get groceries to stock up the motel room with, as you wanted food and drinks and supplies. You weren't sure how long you were going to be staying at the motel. And if you knew anything about Forged from Failures, he likes to eat, and you needed to make sure there was plenty for him to have before he got hangry and things started to get messy around the hotel room. So heading into the town of Pinckney, which is about 20, 25 minutes away. You knew that the drive would provide ample time for the two of you to chat and get some opportunities to figure out what comes next. So as you arrive in the town of Pinckney, the scene is yours.
As we park, I will step out of the passenger seat because at this point, I would let Rory drive because I've been driving around a lot. So being in the passenger seat feels a little nice right now. Still have my button up off because of the heat and the humidity. Just wearing my normal jeans, a green t-shirt, boots, and my hat. Closing the door and looking around for the nearest grocery store or convenience store or whatever is close by that we can kind of hit up for those groceries.
Yeah, there's a nice local market. It looks like it's going to have everything you need. Typical grocery fare.
Cool. I'll wait for Rory to get out of the car and then head over in that direction.
Yeah, she'll get out of the driver's seat. She today is wearing kind of like a cropped tank top, her usual cargo pants, hair's up in a ponytail, wearing a baseball cap, kind of to keep any loose hairs like out of her face. Not enjoying this gross heat, expecting it to be more tolerable than Florida, but no, it's just as miserable in a different way. And she'll go around the car, meet Ray. You think we need a cart or a basket?
I will laugh a little bit and give her a look. With how much Forge eats and then accounting for the four of us and steaks eventually, I think we're going to need a cart.
As you head into the market, you find that it is a typical mom and pop market. It's operated by very few employees, and this early in the day, it's actually very sparsely populated. Maybe there's a couple of other guests shopping in the store, but this small town feel, most people have probably gone to work for the day at their jobs, whether it's at the factory or in one of the larger cities like Brighton or Ann Arbor. And the few employees that are here are either minding the cash registers or stocking the shelves. You get the sense that if you did want to talk a little freely here, you probably could because of how few individuals there are in the store.
I'll still, as we're walking and we're talking, I'll keep an eye out, keep my ears open just in case someone gets a little too close at times and be a little bit more quiet or just stop the conversation.
I'll keep that in consideration. You are safe.
And Rory would be doing the same. And she'll grab a basket to start and see where they go, and in her free hand, she'll kind of just fidget with her keys. So, that bad, huh?
Well, honestly, it wasn't bad. It was jarring. Because when we pulled up to the saloon, I expected a little bit more tension. I expected a little bit more maybe angry faces of us being back. Maybe a little bit of surprise given, the shame being removed and, us seeming to be more put together. But opening the doors and having a whole welcome party laid out for us was not something any of us expected.
So then why all the hush hush when y'all got back? And I'm guessing Stakes decided, well, since this is her stomping grounds, she wanted to do a little bit more of a natural approach.
I will sigh a little bit and kind of scratch my beard at the mention of steaks, and I'll reach out and grab random bag of chips off the shelf and put it in the carrier that Rory has. Steaks had a outburst when we were heading back to the motel. Because, like I said, we had a whole party waiting for us. And from what I could tell, everyone there was happy to see us. We were actually having decent conversation. Aaron was actually communicating with Forged, and they were joking and kind of gassing each other up, I guess. Juniper was also being a little bit more chatty than usual and was talking with Red a little bit less formally and actually having a decent conversation. Heck, even I went to go talk with Sean, and he was happy to see me and everyone. He even felt remorse, from what I could tell, about everything that happened with Delphine and wants to apologize. With all of that.
Oh. Yeah, she'll listen intently to what he's saying, look at the bag of chips that he put in and grab a different flavor, and then grab a couple of more snacks that she's noticed have been more popular in the pack house. And she'll continue to listen.
But yeah, with all that, we got into the car to leave, and as we drove, after a bit, we started to talk, and I mean, I am erring on the side of maybe they are genuinely happy to see us. It seemed actually truthful from what I could tell as I was reading the room through the entire party. When I was talking with Sean, it seemed genuine, his remorse and his emotions. But the suspicions, everyone is a little bit suspicious about the whole situation. Because, I mean, we'd left here really bad. We did not leave on a good note. And to think that we would come back and into happy open arms with not as many questions as could have been asked, not as much, maybe accusations that could have been thrown at us. Everyone was bringing out these suspicious comments and questioning, is this truly how they are now? Or is this just a facade? And Stakes got a little angry. She got very angry because from what she told us, this is the first time in a while that she's truly seen her friends act the way they used to. Because this is her pack. This is her group. And we were throwing shade at them for a good 10 minutes. And she did not like that. That is the most angry I have ever seen Stakes. Ever. Because, we've been yelled at a couple of times by her. And she's had her voice raised, but she actually screamed at us. And I was a little worried. And she made me stop the car. She stormed out. and threw one last accusatory sentence into her outburst and just left. I honestly don't really know where she is right now. She didn't come back to the motel at all last night. I mean, we didn't see her this morning. She's really hurt by our comments. And hopefully she's doing good.
I'm sure she's doing fine. She knows this area like the back of her hand. And I don't blame her for flipping out on y'all. From what I've gathered, at least from the way she talks about them, this is her family. This is what she knows. How would you feel if one of us was all of a sudden shit talking one of your what do you call them? Like bunker buddies or whatever?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I don't know military lingo. I'm sure you would flip out on us as well if we were all of a sudden talking shit like that.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I voiced my opinion. I didn't throw as much suspicion onto them up here. I mean, for all we know,
Implying that you still partook. And she'll grab like a thing of like soda cans, like a 6-pack.
all I said was that we don't truly maybe know how they were before we got here. And yes, it's different from the time that we spent up here before we left Florida. But this could be how they actually are. And we're just seeing them act how they used to for the first time. And it's jarring. So it's understandable to be suspicious because of how we left. But I was more on the side of stakes than on the side of everyone else throwing the suspicious comments.
She'll kind of just look at Ray sideways because she's still kind of browsing the aisles as they walk up and down. You're right that I'd kind of agree with Stakes as well in this matter. And I can imagine how for everyone else it is a little bit of a whiplash. I can't give my full opinion on the matter because I didn't get to talk to any of them and partake in anything. So I was secure in the room for y'all. You're welcome, by the way.
Appreciate it.
But I would like to, at some point, actually get to speak to them all and make my own opinions on the matter. Is that the only thing that went wrong last night, or was there other things that happened? Because I feel everyone would have kind of walked in with their tail between their legs if that was just it.
I mean, specifically last night for the party. I mean, other than Forge and Juniper kind of got at it again a little bit. But that's common. It's become less common, but Forge was a little drunk last night, so kind of went back to a little bit of his old ways, I feel. But I don't know, I think everyone was just really thrown off about the party, and then with the blow up from Stakes. I know the drive up felt fine to me. I mean,
Delphine wasn't acting all weird. I know she rode with you. I had Juniper and Stakes in my car.
I mean, most of the time, Delphine was in the back listening to music on her headphones and going through the documents. A little bit of chit chat on the way up, but nothing too like weird acting. I don't really know 100% what you're getting at.
Her and Juniper have been kind of dancing around each other lately. I don't know what it's about. I tried to talk to them before the trip, maybe try and settle whatever dispute or whatever may be going on that has them both in a funk, but if Forged, and she'll like stop herself, remembering that he's no longer deadbeat, and Juniper got in it, I'm sure it did not help with her current mood. So the room arrangements are going to be interesting.
For sure. Which, speaking of room arrangements, actually, since you brought that up, it does remind me. Aaron and Red did mention that they secured a house for us. One that is able to house all of us comfortably in the Sept and has decent AC. Everyone else was kind of iffy about it, but I feel like it might be a decent idea to think about using it, because I don't know how long we're going to be up here, but staying in a motel for weeks on end is going to be a little tight, and it might cause more issues if we're all in such tight, close proximity.
At the mention of the house, she's actually going to stop walking down the aisle and turn to face him with her brow furrowed. So you're telling me I didn't have to secure these rooms? I understand the suspicion, especially on how Forged and Delphine got caught. And all this talk about always being watched by the spirits. But there was a place already secured that is in the Sept where if we are suspicious of them, we can get more information on them.
I'll also stop and kind of turn to face her and kind of do an exasperated shrug. I didn't know about the house until after you left to secure the motels. If
And
I
you
had
didn't
known,
think to give me a call?
well, the situation, as I said, was a little weird. Everyone was a little on their toes, trying to maneuver it. I apologize. I should have texted you. But I think after that party, everyone wanted to not be in the Sept at that moment. So the motels were still useful.
She'll let out kind of an exasperated sigh and then just hand him the basket and start pulling more stuff off the shelf because it's probably getting a little too heavy for her own personal comfort. Did anyone ever teach y'all that you keep your friends close and your enemies closer? If we're really that suspicious of them, I think we should have at least thought about it. Not necessarily right off the jump, just been like, oh no.
I mean, I told Aaron and Red that we would talk about it. Like I said, we just got told about it not even like 10 hours ago. Like, what do you want? I agree. I think staying in the Sept might be useful because it's quicker access to everyone there. You know, we can go look around and see what's changed and do some investigating of the area. But I mean, I don't know if, well, I know 100% Delphine's not going to want to stay there. She flat out said she wouldn't stay there when I mentioned it on the drive over to the motel. And I'm sure Forge would want to stay there. I mean, I'm okay with it. Seems like you are. And I don't really know about Juniper. It seemed like she was on the side of maybe staying there, maybe not. So unless you want to split us all up and have some of us stay in the house, some of us stay outside the Sept in the motel, like, I don't know if that's a good idea.
She'll kind of ponder that idea for a moment. You know, with all the tension going on, it actually might not be a bad idea. And if we want to find out that if they're genuine or not, we can have a couple of us stay there, scope it out, let the others know. Divide and conquer.
I mean, the option's open, and if people want to stay in the house, I'm sure they'll be okay with as many of us that want to stay there as possible. I don't think they really care. I mean, they gave us the option to stay at the house. It's there. So if you want to stay there, and if Forge wants to stay there, and if Juniper wants to stay there, I'm fine with that. But if Delphine wants to stay at the motel, at least one or two of us have to stay. Because I don't think splitting her fully away from us by herself is a good idea.
Oh, I wouldn't plan on it. Any of us alone, I wouldn't think would be a good idea.
I agree, but given the situation, I think it's even more of a uncomfortable situation leaving Delphine by herself. I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Well, yeah, she's probably the one that got the most shit while up here. And she'll fidget with her keys a little more, and she'll wind up, like, grabbing a pack of Skittles and just fidget with that as well. And I would like to see if I can sneak that Skittles in my pockets with my keys and make it look like it was a subconscious thing.
Sure. Give me a dexterity and stealth.
Do I get pickpocketing?
Yeah. Well, this would be more like sleight of hand instead of pickpocketing because
Okay.
you're not taking it from somebody. However, Ray, give me a wits and awareness.
100%. Am I still at 2 rage or 1?
1. You're down to 1 now. You've had a night's rest, and
Is this a sight-based?
yes.
So I got a 5 on a critical. One of those 10s is on my rage.
Okay.
I only got 4.
Okay. Then yes, you are able to sneak it into your pocket without Raymond noticing.
And she's just gonna continue down the aisles. Probably grab a case of beer. You're illegal now, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we all have other ways of buying it, so I mean, I'm not gonna flash my real ID at this point.
Fair enough. And she'll debate on getting the case before putting it back.
Let's just get it.
You think we got enough? And she'll look at the food that they've all gotten.
I think we do, but I think the case is not a bad idea. So I'll grab that.
And she'll grab the basket as he grabs the case. What are your... I mean, you already said that you think they're genuine. Whereas, is that what you really think, or is that what you're telling me? Because I know you've been their biggest fan since day one. And they've been singing your praises.
I'll kind of roll my eyes at that comment. When we were all talking, I spent a lot of time during that party. Jesus. Sorry, got an alert. During the party, I read the room pretty well through the entire party. And everyone seemed good. Everyone seemed happy. I'm not misinterpreting it as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'm pretty good at reading people. It was part of my skill set when I was in the military. And everything I got seemed to be truthful. I'm not trying to deceive you with that. I mean, you could ask the others. I know a few of them were also trying to get the vibes from everyone. So, and just because they treated me a little bit better while we were up here, I mean, think back to us being up here when we were like, what, 4 or 5 months ago? Out of everyone, who was not the biggest mess up? Who was the one that just kind of listened and obeyed? And yeah, I'll say that that's what I did. But I was trying to learn. I was trying to figure all this stuff out. I was trying to think about it more of in a military mindset of, I got orders, I must follow the orders. You know, these are my superiors. I have to listen to them. That's what I did. So they're going to think about me a little bit better than everyone else. That might be useful. And I mean, out of everyone up here, I didn't really interact as much with Aaron. I had a few interactions with Sean. I learned some things from him. But I mean, out of everyone, I do look up to Red. I mean, he was the one that taught me a lot while I was up here. He shot straight with me a lot in our conversations. So I respect him. And so I'm happy to see that he's happy for us to be back. So I might be a little biased on that, but I'm a little glad to see him happy.
She'll nod as they make their way to the register to start purchasing everything. Alright. What angle do you want me to take then? I want to make sure that we do this right.
I mean, take whatever angle you want to take. Just do what you do best. Read the room. Gather as much information you can from them during conversations. I mean, we're here to do a job. We're here to secure a trade deal. So you can gather any information that'll help us do that, that'll be extremely useful. And if you get a different vibe check than what I got and what everyone else is getting, then let me know. Because I would rather know every random insignificant variable that might make this go sideways.
She'll kind of think on that answer, and she kind of feels that it was the typical right answer of answering without answering before finally, like, pulling out cash to pay for the food.
Despite
All
being a
right.
mom and pop shop, it does have a self-checkout, so you're able to scan all the items and pay yourself as you're continuing to have the conversation on your way out.
Hell yeah. So she'll kind of turn to him. That didn't really answer my question, but I'll assess how everyone is and whatnot, and will determine that will determine if I decide to play nice or not. But I'd like to follow my leader after all, and she'll grab a couple of the bags. Shall we get these home? I'm sure Forge is starving. And probably bothering the other two about not having anything ready by the time they got to the room last night.
I'll pick up the rest of the bags and the case of beer and start heading out. And as we're heading out, I'll turn and look at Rory. What answer do you want? Because I feel like I did answer your question. Because, I mean, I don't think you should take any specific angle. Take an angle that you think will help. I do want you to suss things out. I want you to gather information. That's what I think you do best. So I don't understand why you think I didn't answer that question.
She'll unlock the car as best as she can and start loading the bags in. It's because of the way you phrase things. It always makes it sound like you're dancing around what you truly want to say. Like, you want to give us the answer that we want to hear. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just something I've noticed about you.
I mean, most of the time during these conversations, at any point in time, they can go volatile. I'm not saying that's what's happening in our conversation. So I might tiptoe every once in a while, but I might make it, my phrasing of my answers might be a little weird, but I am being straightforward in most of the time when I'm answering. It's just how I phrase things. I don't know what you want from me.
She'll smirk most of the time.
Hey, do you want me to just be as blunt as Forge at all times and then potentially cause a fight or an argument?
No, but there's always a time and place for things like that.
True. I mean, I just didn't feel like the answer I gave you was not point blank enough. I gave you options. I gave you a right to choose how you want to do things. And I'm asking you to do what you're good at. How is that not answering the question?
Because let me try and phrase this properly. You were in this specific scenario, I guess, on the front lines. You have a lot more intel than I do right now. And if you believe that they are genuinely being the way they are, then I'll approach. I'll approach polite, like I've been raised, and not have my guard up as much. But because, again, I don't know, other than what you just told me on our little excursion, the details, I didn't get to see the reactions, the interactions. I think giving me a little bit more of a direct objective would kind of give me a little bit more to work with. Kind of a little bit more guidance. As much as I appreciate the right to choose, sometimes that can also be a little bit of a risky play.
Raymond, will you make a wits and composure check for me, please? That's wits and composure, not composure and resolve.
There's only 2 successes.
Okay. As you're gripping the bags, your knuckles start to turn white as the voice that's in the back of your head starts to grow a little more gravelly, a little rougher, a little deeper. What don't they understand? How much more direct do I need to be with them? How much more do I need to do? Go ahead and increase your rage by 1.
I will open with the door open. Instead of placing the bags, I'll be a little bit more forceful with tossing them in. And I will move to the open front door and kind of lean in, one hand on the dashboard, one hand on the headrest, and I'm leaning in a little bit. I am telling you what I thought was the best option. I'm sorry that I did not give you the just go and talk to them nicely answer. I gave you the information that I had with a couple conversations I had during a party where everyone was happy and everyone was joyful. Everyone was excited to see us again. I feel like that would have gotten across of be polite when you go walk up to them. And the fact that you needed me to say that is a little, I don't know, stupid.
They are all so stupid.
I trust your abilities, Rory, and that's why I gave you the option. But if you need me to be more direct from now on, I guess I'll just tell you what I expect you to do, if that's what you want me to do.
If she doesn't listen, we'll show her.
hearing him say stupid directed at her, she gets a little bit of a shocked expression. Alright, my bad. Just wanted to be a little bit more clear. My apologies for not picking up what you were putting down. Didn't mean to get under your skin.
No, from now on, I'll just be more direct. I understand. And then I will close the back door, and I will hop in the passenger seat and close the passenger door and put on my seatbelt and get ready to go.
Rory will get into the car and also buckle herself up and start to pull out.
As you make the drive back to the motel, what's going through your minds after this interaction? Rory, we'll start with you.
She is a little shocked at how Ray reacted in the end and is trying to figure out how to navigate that now. But she's like, I will address that later when he's not as angry, frustrated with her. She sees both sides of what went down, why some of the pack is upset and cautious, why some of the pack is not, why Stakes would genuinely be upset, and she now is more motivated to investigate all this a little bit further. But she also is a little bit upset at how Ray reacted because she's in her own way trying to be a little bit better at following her pack leader and trying to show that, but in the way she went about it was obviously not communicating as well as she thought she could have, and now thinks she took another step back with Ray rather than a step forward.
And Raymond.
The conversation started out pretty good. I mean, I relayed the information about the party and how everyone felt, how I interpreted everything. You know, questions were asked and I did my best to answer them, but I'm annoyed that I'm just getting put down again in some way. Like, I answered the question. I gave her options. She should know how, from our conversation, how she should go about it. Or at least she should be able to think about how she should be able to go about it. And, you know, do what she does best. But it's not only Rory, but I mean, the conversation with Forge just yesterday, you know, we would have a conversation. He would slide in a little jab and put me down. And it's just, I'm doing my best. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure this out. And I guess I need to reevaluate a little bit of how I'm actually doing this, because maybe I'm not doing it the correct way. And it's annoying me a lot that they just are digging on me and questioning me all the time.
Good thing you have a mentor to ask for advice, and you're going to be meeting with them in the next couple of days. That being said, we move on to two more of the pack who have some matters to clear the air of. We move on to that scene now. With Raymond and Rory having departed to get groceries and Juniper out wandering the woods as she's known to do, that leaves Forged from Failures and Delphine Ruinspeaker all alone in the room by themselves. Now, Forged, You've been going back and forth with a certain matter that's been weighing heavily upon you. The matter of Delphine's friendship, her intentions towards you. She had been a confidant and someone you could count on during your recovery, someone who supported you on your turn towards becoming good, your turn towards ridding yourself of the shame that you had been burdened with. But then, once you had finally succeeded in removing that shame, you came to find out that it was only to remove her own shame, that she had been tasked with redeeming you in order to rid herself of her own shame. Now, you've been told by several people several times that this isn't a big deal and who cares, because at the end, you got better and that's what's more important. But you're forged and old habits die hard. Maybe there's a little bit of deadbeat still in you, and you can't help but take it as a bit of an insult. You can't help but see it as something that maybe, at its core, hurts you. So with this weighing heavily upon you, and with an opportunity in front of you, the two of you alone in the motel room, the scene is yours.
So currently I'm wearing this sleeveless top that says "It's all downhill from here, enjoy it." As I'm just kind of sitting by, like sweat shorts, kind of on my phone, not sure, like trying to figure out how to start this conversation. I think more about it, I start getting a bit more frustrated, a bit more angry, partly because I don't know how to start this. Part of it is because just thinking about it makes me mad. As I kind of sit there looking over occasionally, eventually it just becomes a bit too much, as I will look over and I'll say, fuck you, Delphine. And I kind of realize what I say, like just kind of like look a little surprised at myself, and then I say, fuck. And I just kind of like look back at my phone awkwardly.
Delphine, she'll have been lounging on the bed, just wearing just some jogging pants and a sweater and a cardigan even over the sweater, and will have been looking over the file of information that Artie had given them for probably the 50th time since their departure. And she'll just blink at the page she's staring at, slowly look up, look down, look up at him, look back down at her, at the file, and just shut it, and then just turn to him. Got something on your mind, Forged?
I just kind of staring at my phone. It's not even on right now. It's just a black screen as I'm just staring down at it, pretending to like look busy, as I'll kind of like look up a little bit, see if you're looking at me, and then kind of look back down as you piss me off. I'm pissed.
Okay. Why are you pissed?
I just awkwardly like adjust myself. I imagine like laying on one of the beds, kind of sitting up, so I just kind of like make myself sit up a little bit more. I'm trying really hard to not make this about something else and to deflect this and just be the guy that I once was, who would just say like you're annoying or just fuck you in general. I'm just trying to put these thoughts into words and to get the bravery to say it, and eventually I'll say, the whole redemption shit pisses me off, man.
I'm sorry, do you not like having a new name that doesn't constantly remind you that you're a piece of crap?
It's not about the name. The new name is, it's okay, I guess. It's getting used to it. It's. I'm just annoyed that you didn't fucking tell me. You know, you always doing some shit like this.
You're upset that I didn't tell you. And she'll just trail off and look at him. Come on, use your words, Forge, since you're so angry. Maybe articulate some stuff.
I'll just let out a sigh. I thought I'll actually put down the phone this time and take a deep breath. Exhale. I'm sorry. I'm not. I am mad at you, but I'm more just pissed in general, and it's annoying. I don't exactly know why I'm so mad. It just. I thought we were, homies. I thought we, could trust each other and shit. And I thought that's why we were, we're both bottom of the barrel. We both were looked down upon the most in the old Sept. In the new Sept already. I mean, they're looking at me a little bit better now, but we weren't definitely off to good starts. And, the others were kind of screwed with us too. Everyone talking about your drug problem and everything. So I thought we were, together in this shit, and I realized it just kind of pissed me off because I thought, and I just kind of trail off after that.
She just looks a little confused, like, we are together in this.
I figured you'd tell me about it, Like, I know people say that it's probably better that it wasn't told, but it just feels like you're doing all this shit just to get your own shit sorted. And it's stupid that I just get pissed because I don't like feeling like I got played. It pisses me off.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
When do you do anything that anyone tells you to do?
I'm getting better at that, but I see your point.
So if I had told you the only way to lift your shame would be to be a better person, would you have done it?
I don't know, man. It just feels like this is kind of like the second time this shit kind of happened to me. I don't know. Like the first time, you were kind of trying to be sneaky and doing. It's not your. I'm not saying it's your fault. I need to preface.
It is
the first
my
time.
fault.
Well.
No, Forge. It is my fault. I'm the one that came to you first up in hell. I guided you to doing that shit that night. I sparked this.
I mean, it wasn't all you.
I definitely argued against the Spartan kicking of the doors, of all 3 doors, mind you, or was it 4? It might have been 4. I've lost count. But no, I definitely said we probably shouldn't do that, but I didn't stop you either. I could have just fucking left you as soon as you kicked the door down, but I stuck through it. Also, just from a philosophy standpoint, because you've been surprisingly philosophical after a certain point. If you do something with the intent like if you do actively are doing something knowing that it will benefit you, does it become selfless?
I don't know, man. Look, everyone I've known does shit for their own benefit or because they can get something out of it. You know, I mean, have you seen the people I hang out with? And
No, I've never met any of your friends.
Well, you'd probably hate all of them, to be honest, and considering you don't seem to like any sort of social gathering or parties, I doubt that you would want to go anywhere. But point is that they're shitty people. I hang out with shitty people, so that's what I know. And so far, it's been shown that people are doing shit. You know, looks like they're being nice here, maybe because they're trying to get shit out of us, you know, or for other reason. It's just what I know. It's what people do. And so just I thought that you did it because you genuinely wanted to, you know, hang out with me.
At first, I didn't want to do any of it. I fought Charles on it. I argued with him. I didn't want to be responsible for fixing you. I thought they were giving me an impossible job. But I fucking did it anyway. And at first, yeah, it was so I could get rid of the shame because I didn't want it anymore. But after a while, for hanging out with you for a little bit, I realized you weren't as much of a piece of shit as you try to make yourself out to be. You honestly just project so that you can protect yourself from people treating you like shit by actively being treated like shit. I don't know, dude. That's weird. You need to go to therapy. I need to go to therapy. We all need to fucking go to therapy because we're all fucking so fucked up.
I just kind of like be a little bit of shock of that, just kind of sitting there like the like one part of oh my god, like god damn it, she's sounding like Heather right now, and another part of what the fuck with that towards the end there. That's a little much for me. Just kind of I mean, that's probably true. I mean, I talk with a chick, and you know, she just happens to be a therapist, but she, you know, I'm trying to get a little something there, but
Wait, so you're going to therapy?
no, I'm not going to therapy. I'm hanging out with a chick who is a therapist.
And you're trying to sleep with her?
I mean, not as much anymore. She's just kind of chill to talk with, you know. I don't know. We just kind of chat and like go to clubs together.
Don't sleep with her. Just don't sleep with her. She's probably psychoanalyzing you all the fucking time.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the first interaction with her doing that. But look, and you're probably right, but it's just, I don't know. I'm worried that if I believe you again, you're just, you know, gonna find out that it's not actually you being like, I guess, genuine as shit, you know, because it's. I mean, I can look. Real recognizes real. You're kind of sneaky. You're kind of shady. I ain't gonna lie. You do shit that reminds me a lot of what my friends would do, and I don't know. And I just kind of keep just like I don't know what I want to say, and I just kind of like let out an angry, like exasperated sigh. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I'm bad with this shit. Okay, it's not what I do.
I'm not too good at it either, if we're being completely fucking honest. But no, I get it. And yeah, I'll fucking admit, I'll own up to that I'm sneaky. I can be manipulative. I'm good at lying. But I don't know. As much as I like to think I don't act like my parents, they used to do this shit all the time to me. And then like just the people I went to high school with too, like product of the environment, I guess. But I wasn't, it started out manipulative, but then it was sincere. I do think that you're smart, even though you try not to be. And I think you're a decent dude, even though you try not to be. And I also think that that chick you knocked up looks to be out of your league, but if she was in a relationship with you, you can't be that much, you can't be as bad as other people think you are.
Oh, I already fumbled that bag, so, you know. But yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm trying to be better, but I don't know why I don't know why I said what I said to Juniper, you know? Like, I'm trying not to be as much of a dick, but sometimes I just do it, and I don't know if it's just because that's me, or it's just, like, instinct at this point. I'm trying to be better, and I don't know why it's such a fucking challenge.
Probably because, like me, you're trying to keep everyone at arm's length. You don't want them close because there's less of an opportunity for them to hurt you. Less of a chance to be abandoned.
You sound just like the chick I was talking to. God damn it. Ugh, but...
Yeah, my parents made me go to therapy.
You never talked about them, by the way. I know you mentioned that, you know, shit went down with them, but I don't know. I mean, did you care about them all that much? Were they like total dickheads? You didn't really say much. You didn't really seem super upset.
They died. Correction, they were murdered.
Shit, that's like they catch the culprit or some shit, you know, or that like, you know, Criminal Minds, they got away with it. Like, what's going on?
They got away with it. But work was their life. They liked their jobs, they prioritized their jobs, and I wasn't. I was just there. Now, they didn't abuse me per se, but there was definitely some emotional neglect. They gave me everything I needed. They put me in a good school. I went to. You're from the area, right?
Yeah, around kind of, you know, Michigan.
I went to that really fancy prep school, Cranbrook.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. That's where, you know, she was from, baby mama. She went there.
Okay, I've got questions, but those can go later. But yeah, no, they just. I always felt like I wasn't as important to my parents as work was. I felt like they just had me because that's what you do when you get married. You just have a kid. And we went on family vacations. We went to nice places and shit. Disney World. We went to Hawaii a couple times, went on some cruises. But I don't know. I just wanted more from them, I guess. And then my dad got a promotion, and I wasn't going to go with them. They told me that they would just have me stay at the dorms because Cranbrook has dorms and finish out high school there. But so instead of finishing out my schooling, I ran away, got addicted to drugs, and that's when they had me come back when I maxed out his credit card. He could have canceled the credit card a lot sooner, but he didn't. And then they were going to put me in rehab. I ran away again. It's complicated, dude. I
mean, shit, I know a lot about that. I mean, me and my parents weren't super bad, but I know plenty of people who had kind of crazy shit going on with their household. So I get it. It's just complicated, not really simple.
I spent pretty much the entire time they were alive just annoyed with them and pissed off at them. And then it was like after I found out that they died, I missed them, I guess.
I mean, when you're around it all the time, especially when it feels like it's breathing down your neck, it's hard to miss something, you know. Usually only after it's gone, when you start missing it or you realize the things you liked about it. I mean, I know that for my family, I probably should pay them a visit, but I, kind of didn't like them when I was there, but looking back on it, I kind of miss it in a little bit, kind of in a way.
I'd say you should visit them.
It's just a lot more complicated now that, we're fighting for the fate of the planet kind of stuff. It makes it, family visits kind of hard, I imagine. I can't really have them in the loop all the time for things.
No, but you can still give them a call every now and then, ask how everyone's doing. Tell them what's going on with you without telling them about the whole Gaia situation of it all. Yeah, I got a new job. Yeah, I went back to school. Yeah, things in Tampa are great.
I mean, I'll give some thought to that, but like, I don't know. I mean, do you need some help with like the whole solving the parents' murder thing? Like, I can maybe help out with that, in some way. I don't know. I've just kind of just sucks, dude. Just
It's a fucking mixed bag, and I don't think I know who did it, but I don't know.
I mean,
There's no real way to feel better about the situation. No matter what I do, I'm not going to feel better.
I don't really know the details, so I can't really give you a good answer there, but I mean, there's gotta be something you can do to at least feel a little better, right? I mean, I don't know, in my head, if you know who it is, kicking their ass might be a good start to helping you feel better. Though I know if you need help with that, I can hold them down.
No, I can't. I've already gotten an offer to have someone kick their ass, but again, it's just complicated. And honestly, beating them up isn't going to fix what they did.
No, it won't, but it's a start at least. I mean, it's nothing's going to be able to fix what happened, but you can at least start fixing yourself. What happened with, you in this regard.
I'm a fucking mess.
Buddy, we all are. I mean, you've seen us, but that's kind of, I guess, why we're together, Mess is trying to make each other not as much of a mess. I mean, you've seen I got a whole new name now. I mean, if I can do it, fuck, I mean, there's a pretty good chance for you.
I don't think that anyone will think I'm fixed as long as I'm like this.
I guess I mean, it's your decision, man. What are you gonna, either you gotta accept that everyone's not gonna like you, or everyone's gonna think you're not fixed while you're doing what you're doing, or you decide you don't like it anymore and you change what you do. I mean, you saw me. I didn't like being treated like a shitty nobody for a while, so I decided to change things up. And if that can make people like me a bit more, hell, I mean, you're a lot better than me with this shit in a lot of other regards. So
I'm not strong enough to stop myself from needing what I need to feel even remotely better.
well, I mean, if you need somebody, you at least, like, I can help out in some ways, or probably Rory would probably also help out too. I don't know, she seemed to be a sap for sad people. I think she had the weakness towards them.
I mean, they're the only two that don't treat me like a fucking that don't treat me like some unreliable meth addict.
I mean, Ray seemed to got a soft spot for you.
Ray has
Huh?
tried to talk to me about quitting so many fucking times. He doesn't want to just let me be. He wants to he wants me to fucking just stop doing the only thing that makes me feel good.
Shit, my bad. I didn't know. I've only seen what I've seen, but I mean, I don't know. He doesn't seem to talk too bad about you. I mean, it's kind of, probably shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyways because fuck Ray, am I right? I'll give a little laugh, but not in like I don't mean that. He said I say I don't mean it in like a serious way. It's more of a joking. But I'll continue to say. And he asked me to at least keep an eye on you while we're here. I mean, he cares about you. He at least thinks that.
He doesn't want me to fuck things up here.
More that he just worried that things are going to be bad for you. Got it all Sean, like before we got up here, and all this weird shit happened at that party. Thinking that Sean was going to try and retry you and everything. So I mean, seemed like he meant it from a decent enough spot, but I mean, I don't know. You at least know that you got at least two of us that has your back. But I mean, if you need help with maybe not doing it as often, or just changing up your habits, I can be there, or at least help out in some way. I don't know. That's if you want it, though. I mean, I'm not one to judge stuff like that. I mean, we all gotta do what we all gotta do. But if everyone's gonna keep seeing you like shit for doing it, maybe it's a sign that you gotta change it up somewhat.
She'll just stare at her lap and fiddle with the edge of the manila folder. I can't be off that stuff right now. Not here.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, if you don't have the strength quite for it just yet, you don't think it's a good time. I mean, none of us can force you to do that.
I can't deal with everything up here and that at the same time.
I would say, it's just kind of me, you know how I am. It would be really fucking funny to go to Sean and not be on anything and have him react to that thinking that you're probably doing a bunch of stuff down there. I mean, you are, but at least showing, at least now, that you're not, or potentially not, trying to make a change would be a big fuck you to him.
Forge, do you remember how fucked I was when we broke into Sean's house?
Oh yeah, I know.
I can't be like that up here.
Like, it's a question of when you're gonna be like that. I mean, we're always gonna go through some shit. So are you gonna keep waiting until? I mean, there's always gonna be something that's happening. You're always gonna have something, a problem on your plate that you're gonna need to deal with. So,
Have you ever experienced a Geru going through withdrawal in Krynos form? Because I don't
Nope.
want anyone to find that out, including myself.
well, out of all people, I'd probably be the best fit to handle that. So look, I mean, hey, if you start freaking out, you know, shit starts going bad, you know, I'm at least there to make sure you don't do a lot of damage. I mean, hey, I mean, sometimes you really just gotta break some shit to let the steam out, you know, the anger out. Maybe we could find something that won't get us in trouble, that we can start smashing, or at least get some of that aggression out. I mean, it seems like you're just sitting here staring at this over and over, you know, studying all this stuff, kind of stuck in your head. I know a pond, kind of like a little lake, kind of close by. We can, like, you know, maybe skip some rocks. I don't know, hang out. It seems like you could use a little time not cramped up in your corner.
Yeah, we can. Are you asking if you want to go take a walk?
I mean, yeah, I just offering like a lake, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, I like skipping rocks, you know, it's kind of fun. But I mean, I figured you would probably maybe like it too. I don't know. I mean, if you don't want to, it's okay. You don't have to.
I've actually never skipped a rock in my life, so I don't know how do you do it?
It's all in the wrist. You gotta have the proper technique. But I can show you. I mean, we can take a stroll out there, take a walk, skip some rocks, maybe, you know, just get some fresh air at least. Then you can tackle back to studying and shit. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna read any of that shit. So if one of us does, it would be nice.
I'll sigh and set down the folder on the nightstand. Yeah, we can go take a walk.
So as the two of you get up off the beds and move to leave the motel room, getting out of the room into the afternoon heat, but you find that the breeze coming off of the lake is enough to balance out the humidity that is sweeping across the state. What's going through your minds after this interaction? Forged, we'll start with you.
I'm in a weird spot right now where I feel very uncomfortable, but also like a bit comforted at the same time. You know, this is like probably the most open and kind of chill I've been with someone here, you know, in the pack, and probably a person in quite a long time. So it's unfamiliar, and I'm not very good with unfamiliar things, but it's comforting kind of realizing that, you know, I don't kind of have to be this macho man asshole all the time. We can just kind of have a conversation, talk, and just be people that, potentially she might not judge me for not being someone strong and having to be someone that I'm not. And it getting the weight off my chest and the anger that I was feeling about the whole redemption thing is also very nice. It's some kind of going through a mix of those emotions right now, but mainly relief.
Delphine.
She is honestly just very emotionally tired right now, but she did enjoy the talk. She felt like it was mainly Forge needing to vent and get some stuff off his chest, and she was happy to talk with him through it and to help him feel some comfort and relief throughout the process. That, yeah, at first she might have been doing it for selfish reasons, but in the end she did really sincerely want to help him. And she did like reassuring him that they were in this together, and she honestly just does view Forged as the person she's closest to in this pack. And she appreciates that out of everyone in the pack, he judges her the least. And it's something that she needs right now, especially right now being in Hell. But there is just the slight twinge of anxiety and panic towards the end of the conversation, with even him suggesting that she needs to get clean, that she probably needs to get clean, and that she should break this habit because she does not honestly think she has the strength to break this habit, because she doesn't know the kind of person she'll be without this in her life.
It's nice to have somebody to lean on, especially when you're feeling vulnerable and weak. The last time you were in Hell, this was the person you thought you could lean on. And they were the one who got you shamed. They were the one who let you down. Maybe things are different this time, or maybe history has a habit of repeating itself. With that, we go to break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of tonight's story.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaboration with our partnered vendors: Dramatic Creations, Panchi Artista, Ember Fox Dice, Devlin the Bard, Champs Tramps, Howlin' Hop Tea. Links to our partnered vendors as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels can be found on our website, stpetebynight.com. You can follow SPbN on all socials with the hashtag StPeteByNight. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at ko-fi.com/StPeteByNight to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back. As we return, it's been about 2 or 3 days since you arrived in Hell. Nobody has heard hide nor hair of Stakes since your last encounter with her, since you parted ways. Maybe she just needed some space to cool off. Maybe she's taking some time for herself to reconnect with her packmates. Maybe she's still really fucking mad at you. But it's been all quiet for the pack. Everyone's been settling in. Some have been heading out, seeing the sights, remembering their lives in Michigan. But for Delphine, she has been doing everything in her power to forget this time, to gloss over this time, to take away the discomfort of this time. Now, Delphine, you prepared for this trip by making a rather hefty order from Spud in advance. You thought you bought enough to cover the entire trip, but the problem with being an addict is there's never enough. And after seeing Sean, after a tense altercation with Stakes, and after a very heavy and vulnerable conversation with Forged, a couple of days could mean a lot of opportunities for use. And let's just see how much of that supply you went through over those couple of days. Make me a composure and resolve check.
I'm gonna burn a willpower.
You can't re-roll willpower checks on a willpower roll.
All right, then it's 3 successes.
Okay. You're doing okay. You are using a bit more than normal, but I wouldn't say that you're blowing through it. So you're maintaining a healthy supply, but you're probably going to need to purchase near the end of the trip before you leave, which you weren't planning for. You were planning this would cover the entire trip, but now you think you might get slim near the end. You might have to ration at some point, but right now you think you're okay. So after one of these outings where you go for a walk, you smoke a little bit, you decide to make a call home because you've been feeling a little bit vulnerable. You've been doubting yourself, and especially after getting yelled at by Stakes and seeing Sean, you can only think back to the last time you felt anyone had any confidence in you, anyone had any belief in you, the last time you felt like you were doing a good job. You think of Charles, you think of Tampa. Yes, they would judge you for your drug use. Yes, they have been telling you to get clean, but they told you you're doing a good job. Something you've never heard in Michigan. Something they've never said here. And while the conversation with Forged may have been something of a connection, something of a bonding moment, did it make you feel any more confident? Not necessarily. If anything, it brought to light a moment of weakness, your selfish motivations in helping him. It reminded you of what prompted helping him in the first place, your shame, which connects back here to Michigan and Hell and Sean and all of the bad once more. So with that, pull out your cell phone as you stand beside the lake, along the dock where many boats are moored, and you dial. The phone rings a few times before it's picked up. "5 days. Who's dead?"
No one's dead. I'm just calling to check in.
"Good. How are you, Delphine?"
It's weird being back up here. Ray seems to be pretty elated about it. Juniper is actually chattier than she's ever been. Even Forged was getting along well with the Philodox up here. We got here a few days ago, but it was weird. They had a party for us.
And?
I feel like I'm the only one that didn't have a good time. because I was expecting people who hated me.
I've never been one for celebrations, Delphine, but even I know how to fake it until you make it.
Maybe you could teach me when we get back.
It's probably a good thing that you're not all here right now.
Why? What's going on?
We are having some interesting developments of our own, but nothing you need to concern yourself with currently. Just focus on your mission.
She is a little annoyed that he won't give any updates about what's going on back to what she considers home now, but she shakes it off and just nods and just says, all right, we haven't really been able to get much of a start on the job yet. I know that they said that their Silent Strider went up to scout the mine, but haven't heard back from him. And then again, and things have been a little tense since after the party.
Tense how?
We haven't seen Stakes since we got here. We when we were driving back to the hotel, we kind of set her off and she got really upset with us.
There's a long pause, and you can swear you hear the sound of grating teeth over the phone. What happened?
A couple of us were put off by the reception we got, and were suspicious, and were not speaking about Sept up here with the warmest regard.
That was enough to upset her.
Evidently.
Interesting.
And then before we got here, she had to make me and Juniper talk.
And?
I mean, you know what she did. I'm
Yes.
sure already told you all. Yeah. What do you expect, that I was supposed to forgive her for what she did?
Did you like your parents?
I told myself my entire life that no, I didn't, but when they were taken from me, it's one of those situations that you don't know how you feel until you don't have the option anymore.
I understand. Better than you know. Delphine, I never knew my parents. And before I knew it, they were dead. So I understand.
And if you found out that someone close to you murdered them, would you want to forgive them?
In a way, someone close to me did murder them. And a part of me will never forgive them. But a part of me understands why they did. And that understanding has to be enough.
She was actively hiding it for months, and I'm just supposed to take her word on it that they murdered her family? I can't. She's lied this whole time. I need to know. I need to have more than just her word that they were doing bad. They were the ones that signed off on it.
And if you don't get it, then what? We don't get closure for everything. We don't always get what we want. Sometimes we have to be okay with that. Was it wrong of her not to tell you once she found out your connection? Yes. If there's anything to be angry about, it's that. As a pack member, you deserve better. And I believe that's what you're actually upset about. You feel betrayed. You feel hurt. Are you also hurt that you didn't get closure with your parents? Possibly. But you might never have gotten that. When you became Guru, your old life was gone. You left that behind. You knew every time you went out, you could die. Especially after you were on that boat. How were you going to get closure then? We make our own closure.
I'm just 20 years old, man.
Most Guru don't live past 25, Delphine.
Not even old enough to buy my own alcohol. I'm supposed to be studying at school. I'm supposed to be getting ready for adulthood. Supposed to be getting ready to work a 9 to 5 and to get pissed off about medical insurance premiums and bills and paying back my student loans, and instead I'm having to do all of this stuff that I wasn't expecting.
That's what adulthood is, Delphine. And no, you weren't supposed to do any of that. This is what you were supposed to do. Because Gaia decided that. If you really want to do all those other things, you still can. I don't know why you would, but you still can.
Because it's normal, Charles.
I've never understood normal.
You should have seen how happy Aspen was when she thought she was just helping me with just some normal law stuff. She looked relieved. She looked happy at the idea that she didn't have to do Garu stuff for 5 seconds. Just being up here is really hard right now.
I can imagine.
And I'm scared that we're gonna fuck it up.
Then don't. Don't be scared. Don't fuck it up. You've proven that you're capable. The only thing that will get in your way is you. Not your former mentor, not your location, not even your pack mates. You.
Be honest, do you think we're capable of even getting this done?
Yes. I wouldn't have sent you if I didn't think you were. Besides, I had to choose not to fight a weregator.
What?
I'll explain it more when you get back. It's complicated.
Oh, okay. I feel like you guys are gonna, like, dump a bunch of lore on us the second we get back.
You'll need many, many notebooks. Yes.
No one's dead, right?
No, not yet.
Um, I'll try. I'll try not to get scared, but it's really hard. Once I was, like, around them again, I felt like I was back to who I was before we got there.
That is exactly what they want. Don't try. Do.
Hey, Charles.
Delphine.
Aspen wouldn't make up that they wanted to retry me, right?
Why would she?
There's been some doubts that Aspen was telling us the truth.
Aspen is a lot of things, but she is not a liar.
So you know her better than I do. You don't think she would want to manipulate us into not being susceptible to them, right?
As far as I was made aware, they had asked for you to be sent up in exchange for the iron. I don't recall anything being said about a trial specifically, but I could see how it could be inferred.
Okay.
That being said, trust your instincts. Gaia gave them to you for a reason. If something seems off, it most likely is.
I'll keep that in mind.
However, maybe don't be so vocal about it, especially if it's driving your mentor away. Some things require further research before they are spoken aloud.
So manipulate.
No, study.
Understood.
Don't try, Delphine. You've already shown that you can do. So do.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, he's never been a mentor to me. You and Eliza are more of my mentors than they ever been.
There's a silence on the other side. You can hear him take a deep breath in. You will complete the mission. You will come home. And we will be waiting for you. Keep yourself safe.
Likewise, don't let a fucking weregator get you.
No, apparently we have decided to talk to it.
Yeah, well, from what I've read online, if you gotta get away from it, serpentine.
From what I've been told, it turned into a dragon.
I'll buy notebooks on the way back.
A good idea. Delphine,
Thanks for the talk.
find what closure you need while you're up there. and just figure out whatever it is you need to figure out with Juniper. A part of you will never forgive her, and that's understandable. But a part of you has to. If only to keep things moving, if only to keep your pack together, if only for your own sanity.
Once I figure it out, I'll go from there.
That's all you can do.
I'll check in another time.
I will be here.
Thanks for the talk, Charles.
Of course. With that, he hangs up the phone. What's going through your mind after the conversation with your mentor, Charles?
She feels a little better, a little more confident in at least facing the Sept. She's still uncertain as to how to handle Juniper, mainly because she doesn't know what she'll need to get closure yet. She hasn't figured that out. But knowing that someone believes that they can do this, that they can come, that they will come home, and knowing that that they're waiting for them to come home has made her feel wanted.
That feeling of belonging is something we can all relate to. Something everyone in this pack can relate to. Whether they've had it, whether they've longed for it, whether they've lost it. We move on now to two that have had it, lost it, and perhaps have found it again in each other and maybe others. There have been a lot of bonds forming in this pack. Some are brittle, frail, new. Some are strong and growing stronger with each interaction. Some could be reaching their end, whereas others are just beginning, and some have yet to be discovered. But this one, between Forged and Rory, could very well be the strongest of all of them. And what an unlikely pairing. You would think two from the same tribe. It would be a match made in hell. But when the two met, they were like polar opposites. They poked and prodded at one another, and not in a friendly manner. But that poking and prodding somehow turned to friendship. And over time, they've started showing a vulnerable side. In fact, there have been times that they've even helped get each other on the right path, corrected each other's mistakes and wrongdoings. Some say there might even be a ship to be sailed between these two. But on this day, it's hunting. So as they move through the woods of Washtenaw County, heading to Livingston County, there are leaves on the ground and in the trees. Even though it is summer, there's always seems to be a fresh covering of leaves on the ground. As you move quietly through the trees, scoping around you, you've been hunting for a while now. And you feel like the heat has been keeping most of the animals away. But, Rory, you've been able to instruct Forged on some of the things to look for, some of the basics. You've pointed out some game trails. You've instructed on some of the surefire signs to show where they set up dens, where game might be known to feast. And you stop when you find a fallen tree to take a rest, to drink some water that, Rory, you remembered to pack because Forge decided that this was a time to bring energy drinks, even though that was a really foolish idea, knowing how hot it was going to be outside and that energy drinks don't actually hydrate. The scene is yours.
Rory will sit down on the fallen log during their little hunting escapade. She's more wearing similar cargo pants, long sleeves, a lot more muted tones rather than just her whatever's in the closet I'm just gonna throw on. And takes a swig of her water and then hands it over to Forged. Those are just gonna give you the jitters, which is not good when you're gonna need to be sitting still for a while. And then you're gonna crash hard.
Now, Forged, for you, it's been hours. You are sweating, you are uncomfortable, and you've probably paid half attention. You were really attentive at first when you first got out here, but as the hours have gone by, your attention has started to drift and wander, and you have lost focus, and there's no signal on your phone, and this is getting to be agonizing. And now you're just thirsty.
Yeah, so I had the same outfit I had on before. I didn't really pack a lot of clothes for this trip, so I'm just kind of wearing this outfit again because I really feel like, it wasn't dirty enough, so it's fine. I knew that I was going to go on a trip, so that's why I packed 0 sugar Monster Energy drinks because I think that would be better for, make sure you're better hydrated. But as I'm coming to learn, maybe not the greatest idea. Kind of checked my phone real quick, see no service. Outside, I look over to the water. I'll take it and start taking some sips from it. As I just look over and say, "Is this what you do for fun? Is your hobby?"
One of them.
It's just where'd you learn that you like doing this stuff? Like, this is just something you find out one day randomly, or like, I just really want to kill some animals. Like, what's the part of it that's fun for you?
She'll just lean back on the log and look around. It's peaceful out here. You do a few camping trips with your family, you learn to appreciate what's around you.
Take a moment to look around. I mean, it is kind of nice out here in terms of how it looks. I mean, I guess it is kind of peaceful, but fuck, it's hot. It sucks, but I mean, I remember it reminded me of when Stakes was trying to train me. Apparently we had to do a little hunting, maybe go on a hunting trip that I couldn't come back until I found something. I was out for hours. That was awful.
She had you hunt too?
I mean, yeah, of course. The stakes we're talking about here. I mean, I she didn't really and she wasn't joking either. I had to be out there for a long time looking for something. Luckily I did happen to find, some chicken, but it it definitely took way longer than it had to be. Especially with winter too, like nothing out there. I don't know what she was expecting, to be honest.
You ate chicken after your hunt that Stakes sent you on.
Yeah, I found the chicken.
She's just gonna kind of like raise a brow. Found a chicken in the woods.
Well, I think I like maybe some barn area or something. I don't know. It's like a field. Ran across it. You know, kind of
Ah,
kind of found a chicken in there.
so you went into a barn in your lupus form on a farm where there was potentially, no, most certainly, because farmers are crazy, an armed person that could have just shot you for stealing his chickens.
I mean, I don't think I'll do have to worry too much about a farmer. It was I like think back to the memory I'm talking about as I recall what happened, remembering the ominous shadowy creature that was lurking in that hole that has gotten me that chicken. As I kind of blank face for a second thinking about that, and I just kind of shake my head. Just yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I like low key. I think a spirit helped me out. I don't really know that stuff very well.
She'll turn her attention to him fully, now curious. A spirit.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like I found a hole that led to some basement, and in the basement there was like a voice that kind of talked about helping each other out, and talking about how the cool dude, and brought a chicken, and I took that chicken.
Okay. Um, are you stoned right now?
No, bro, I'm actually not capping right now. I'm telling you, I've like okay, you can see like a spirit wolf thing, and everyone else can see the spirit wolf thing, and that's totally legit and normal. We saw like spider spirits and webs and all this crazy shit, but a voice like spirit voice thing in a basement giving me a chicken is too much.
No, I'm just trying to piece this all together and um well, it's either you were hallucinating and then decided to just take an easier hunt and steal from someone else's property. It is one of those weird spirit things that we have to get used to, or you're somehow stoned right now and just not making any sense and jarbling things.
I mean, look, my bad. I was trying to give you the whole story there. I mean, how is your hunts with stakes, huh? How did they go? Did you have anything crazy happen in them, or what?
I got kicked by the deer.
Oh God, was it just you and stakes? Like, how the fuck happened?
No, it was a bonding night, and we tried to do a pack approach. I was told I wasn't allowed to, and she'll kind of put the crossbow down. wasn't allowed to hunt the way I'm used to. Get used to hunting like a wolf and whatnot. And, well, I thought I screwed it up. Tried to recover by jumping at the thing and letting it hit me. Made it appear that it hit me harder than it did to try and distract it so the others could, well, take it down.
Shit, kind of funny. You struggled because you don't have like, you know, the muscles that I do, and I struggled because I didn't know the shit that you know. Shit, just send us together. We would have gotten it done in an instant. Find me the shit and then point me at it, and I could fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. In multiple meanings of the phrase. And she'll offer him more water, knowing that he has not drank enough yet today.
I'll take it and take another drink of it, sipping on it as I do. I'll sit up, look around, and actually, for once, kind of, I think, hey, this isn't so bad. Normally I'm not really a big fan of nature, like chilling in nature. I mostly prefer like the hustle and bustle of cities and like sights and sounds to kind of distract myself. But I mean, it's actually kind of nice out. I'll take a deep breath. I'll say, I can only say for one thing that the air definitely smelled a lot better up here than it does down there. It smells like shit in Tampa.
Oh, most certainly. I don't miss how bad it smells. And the farther up north you go, the fresher the air seems.
Huh. One thing you never talk about, like, I know that, apparently ex-criminal, criminal record and sad story of your family, but you never really talk about much about where you came from.
Because none of you really ask. The little you all do know about me, you just make assumptions.
Fair. I mean, that's kind of our MO, though, isn't it?
If any of you found that article about me and asked me about it, I would have told you.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird, though, to be looking up people, while you're at pack mates online. That's kind of weird, in my opinion.
She'll kind of just shrug at that. Fair enough. Why, is there more about me you want to know? And she'll kind of like shoulder him, like hit him with her shoulder in a teasing manner.
A little bit of a laugh. Just say, well, I mean, hey, it's changing styles, right? I mean, I'm forged now. Might as well start changing things a little bit. I don't know, maybe start to get to know you, some of y'all a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
but
he gets a new name and a whole new personality comes out. Look out, Triple F is coming our town.
I do like that one though. It makes me think of like a WWE name. If I ever get on stage there, I should take that. But I don't know how if the Sept would approve of me joining the big leagues. Apparently, I don't think it would actually be very fair too.
No, I don't think it would be. Especially with a supernatural strength and all.
Yeah, but I think it's a skill issue, to be honest, on their part. But
And would you even be able to hold back with all the strength you talk about?
I'm getting better. I mean, like I'm getting better at holding back and being better at this shit. Look, may have a little bit of a hiccup at the party and the drive back, but I'm trying. All right.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I figured you would probably hear it one way or another, especially if you're hanging out with Ray.
Listen, we had to get food. And yes, I did hear quite a bit from him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I don't know. one thing I guess I wanted to kind of ask you is I'm not very good at this. You're a lot better than me. How do you like? I get the best way to say it. How do you not be a dick as much? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to not be as much of an asshole, but I'm not very good at apparently choosing my words good. You know, choosing the right words. So I don't know. Everyone in the pack seems to like you at least a little bit, so you're doing something right.
I don't know about everyone. And she'll kind of lean back onto her hands and just kind of look up into the trees and just kind of absorb their surroundings for a bit. Ray got a little bit prickly with me on that grocery run.
Ray Prickly. I mean, what, he gave you a strongly worded speech?
He
Gave you a
referred to
heart to
me as
heart?
stupid. Actually kind of grew a pair of balls for a moment. Still don't know how to feel about it. But yeah.
I actually genuinely look surprised for a second. I think about that. Just, well, first of all, were you being stupid?
I think we were not communicating clearly enough. And I asked him to clarify and to be a little bit more direct. And I guess that set him off. And I just want to make sure we don't screw things up here. It's also not the first time him and I have kind of butt heads.
I mean, is there anyone here who hasn't butted heads with him, to be fair?
Yeah, but even when we're all together and button heads with him, he still kind of remains a little level-headed. Meanwhile, the conversations I have with him one-on-one, he always seems to get a little bit more agitated.
I mean, like agitated, like treating you like a dick, or agitated just like being on edge?
The first one was a little bit more on edge, but I don't blame him. Ember kind of said some things after that little seance we did that, well, maybe he didn't want known, and I was not quite the happiest with my business in that matter being aired to, well, him and Delphine, at least at that point. If I remember correctly, that night he also kind of cracked the edge of the table, but I don't know.
And I thought I did that when I was drunk. Fuck. Okay, that's who actually did that. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, me personally, after we had a one-on-one talk, you know, the talk. Uh, I mean, he kind of was chill with me, left me alone. I mean, hey, Juniper even threw him around a little bit too. So maybe work some muscles up and start throwing him around. He'll treat you a lot better. Or if you need someone to do that for you, I mean, you know a guy.
Yeah, his name is Charles. And she'll smirk at that.
Well, that's just overkill at that point. All right, we don't. Look, if Charles got to him, I don't think he'd be able to. Like, I would be able to survive a punch. I don't think he could make it through one.
I don't know. Never judge a book by their cover.
Well, I mean, kind of hard when the book never lets you see the insides, you know?
Well, then you just gotta figure out a way to open it.
Speaking of opening books, we got a little bit away from this conversation, kind of avoided it, talking about your home back up north, or at least where you came from. Crack open your book.
If you really want to know where I'm from a little tourist town called Skagway. It's a historical town. If you ever look it up, you'll see a lot of stuff about the gold rush. And the Iditarod races.
I nod like I know what she's talking about, but I don't.
Is it obvious that you don't know what you're talking about? Because I will make a roll.
I think it's pretty obvious. I just have that blank expression nod of just like, yes. I just have no thought behind my eye. It's just,
The Iditarod is a really big sled dog race.
Oh, I mean, I knew that, but thanks for clarifying.
She'll just smirk again. We had, oh, you go.
I was just saying, it sounds like not a lot to do, but I mean, go ahead over your end.
Well, during tourist season, you meet a lot of folks. You learn a lot about people. I wasn't quite old enough for some of the locations. Had to be 21 and up. But it was a nice, quiet town. At least when it wasn't tourist season.
I guess with the boredom, the reason why you decided to turn to a little bit of the, not so savory side of life, a little bit of that exciting crime.
She'll let out a little bit of an awkward laugh and shift, putting her arms across her stomach, kind of in the way she normally has done when she gets a little uncomfortable. Nah, I wasn't bored. But, well, that former partner in crime, he showed me a different side of the tracks.
I mean, it kind of sucked that the dude was such a dick, but
I mean, we had our good moments. We would go out and party and hang out with people. It wasn't always, well, the stealing.
I'm telling you, that's literally like what 99% of people who have like terrible relationships say, by the way. They got to say there was good times, it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like people who have good relationships don't feel like they need to say that.
Is that coming from experience here?
You think I know good relationships? Please, it may sound surprising, but I've actually only been with one person, I guess, in like a sense of a relationship. I had a couple hookups and, a couple of nights partying, regrets and not so much regrets, but it's just wasn't quite as much for me. Ended pretty badly, and I think you already know who it was.
Yeah, and I saw the results of that too. How are you managing that, by the way?
Oh, that I mean, I wouldn't worry about that. It's just, just went and talked and like just worked everything out. It's all cool now. We're chilling. I kind of like awkwardly like look away, just kind of shift a little bit. Kind of like hand behind, like rubbing my neck, kind of let out a little like awkward laugh.
You realize we're pack mates, and even if it has nothing to do with me, I am going to worry at least a little bit.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. It's it's complicated, but it's handled. You know, just uh gonna be paying some visits to, you know, her and the kid every now and again, and I'll be, you know, kind of there.
At this point, you both hear a shotgun click. So, we've got trespassing. We've got illegal hunting out of season. As you turn to the source of the voice, you see Aaron, dressed in jeans and hiking boots. One second. Okay. Dressed in jeans and hiking boots. She has her badge displayed on her belt, but she's wearing a tank top and she's holding a double-barreled shotgun in her hands. I gotta say, it's not a very good look for both of you.
Rory's going to just put her hands up. Sorry, Aaron. Must have mixed up seasons.
She breaks out into a smile. I'm just fucking with you. It's fine. But you're looking in the wrong spot. If you want to see where the good game is, you should come with me.
I'm just gonna look over to like Rory. It's clear that I was freaked the fuck out for a second because I just heard a click of a shotgun and I was like, oh, it's over. But as I was just look a little bit where we leave now, but kind of just look for you for kind of guidance here. Just kind of like not sure what to say, and especially about, you know, the subject of survival and hunting.
Yeah, Rory wants to do an insight check on Aaron to see if she really was just genuinely fucking with us.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a wits and insight.
I am burning 1 willpower because I do not like that result. All right, that's better. I got 3.
She seems to be jovial, lighthearted. She was joking completely.
She'll kind of like relax a little bit. Her shoulders will kind of go back to being relaxed, and she'll pick up her crossbow and stand up. Oh, I'm willing to see where the good game is at.
I
Triple
actually
F, you
spotted
got-
some pheasants a couple of clicks west of here. If you wanted a pheasant.
I think that'll be a good first game for you. What do you think, Triple F? And she'll turn to Forge, trying to like comfort him a little bit and ease the tension that was just temporarily there with this joke.
Yeah, I mean, shit, pheasant sounds good. I think I've seen it at the store a couple times, or at least like a butcher shop. I mean, I'll try it. We're
Oh,
gonna have to hunt.
Once I pass you this, you'll love how you see them explode.
Oh shit! Wait, I can use the shotgun. Oh my! Hold up! Now I'm definitely.
Oh
on
yeah,
board.
you can use the shotgun.
But what are you doing out here? Is this kind of part of your job? Do you like patrol kind of the woods around here, or
They don't have a
like?
they don't have a keeper of the land down in Tampa.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's not like a lot of land to like really keep. I think. Well, who would that be? Like, you probably know the titles better than I do, right, Rory? I kind of look over.
Rory, you know that the keeper of the land is Lucas.
I was about to say, is it Lucas?
Yes.
we met him at one of our outings. It's Lucas.
Dude with the bike. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Well,
the dude with the bike that you made a whole stink about him revving his engine.
well, look. All right. I was drunk, but it's hard to remember. Everyone has like 3 titles nowadays. I don't know.
Oh, they got all the titles down there, huh? I found that it's just excessive at a certain point. You just need a few, really. But yeah, follow me. I'll show you.
I'll follow right behind her.
She starts heading off down a game trail, cradling the shotgun in her arms as she leads the way. So how long you guys been out here?
Couple hours. Probably would have been in sooner if someone remembered to pack water.
Look, I'm just saying it has 0 sugar in it. It has to be as good as this as water. I mean, it has no sugar in it.
It still dehydrates you.
You hear Aaron give off a laugh. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, look, I may not know a lot of things about that kind of stuff, but hey, at least I know about the things that do matter, right? Like the best places to go in Ybor and how to kick ass. So it's only 2 real things you need to know, right? And I guess also like the litany. I know that one too.
Well, you can't argue with that. Basic fundamentals. I respect that.
Yeah, you mentioned how things, as they change, are still very similar. Anything new up here?
A lot, actually. Things have been pretty nice lately, honestly. It's been calmer, low key. Been I don't know, lighter around here. But it's nice to see you guys bringing some excitement up this way. After you guys told us about the seeds and we were hearing about the plant stuff coming up here, that caused us to have a little bit of business. But now with this talk of getting iron and going to the mines, that gives us some focus, something to do.
Yeah, brings a little bit of excitement, I guess, since we've been gone.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't know. After you guys left, felt like the clouds parted, sun came in. Things just got better. Not because you left. Nothing like that. There was something else. Sean described it as like a darkness. I don't know anything about all that. I don't pay attention to much of the spirit stuff, but now that everything's all cleared up and you guys are back, just seems like everything's happier.
I have like a little click in my brain. I'll look over to Rory. Like I wanted, like we have to talk about something later, but I was kind of respond with, well, I was getting worried for a second. He started getting kind of more and more excited that we were gone. I was
Absolutely not. No, actually, to be honest, took some time, but after a while, started to miss your ass.
shit. You the same Aaron that I know? Actually, you got the same Sept that I know. I don't think no, I don't think really anyone would say they miss me, especially how I was up there. Or I guess back then.
Well,
Not
you
little bit
caused
of an
trouble,
asshole.
but you kept things interesting. And I don't know. We all could have done better by you guys. That's the truth of it. We were in a bad place.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think in the long run we could have been better pups. And one deadbeat, when Forge gives her the look of we need to talk later, she will give a nod of acknowledgement.
yeah, we could have hosted maybe less parties, done. The doors
We?
could have. Look, it's a pact. We're all together in this, right? If one of us does something, we all have done it, right?
Oh
Isn't
yeah,
that accountability?
yeah.
Well, we could have been a lot more forthcoming about our history as well. You got to understand, we had some hard times before you all showed up. We had some infighting in the Sept about a year or so before you all got in town, and well, it caused some trouble and caused some hard feelings, and some took some time to recover from it, and took some time to learn how to trust again. And well, it didn't do right by you, didn't make us in the right mindset for teaching, and well, all I can say is our bad, really. And you deserve better, and it sounds like you're getting better down there in Tampa, and I'm glad to hear it.
I'd say we're doing all right down there. Definitely learning some hard lessons, some lessons we definitely needed to get knocked into our heads. Speaking of mentors and lessons, I really wanted to reach out to Rick, but
Oh, you hadn't heard?
I
He's
haven't
up at the mines taking some scouting photos right now, but he should be back not too long.
No, I wasn't informed. Just kind of heard how things went at the party, and
Oh, that's weird.
no, I wish.
Red told Ray.
Yeah, he didn't mention it to me on our run the other night. I guess it slipped his mind.
Well, yeah, he should be back down here soon before everything takes off. But yeah, I'll make sure to pass along the word to him that you asked about him.
Please do. I'm trying to be a better Galliard after all. And
Anything we can do to help, it's never too late to have a fresh start, right?
of course, I can't wait to hear your stories and share some of the ones that we've created.
Boy, do we have some doozies. We got to tell you about some of the fun we got into around Detroit.
Shit, I actually with I mean, I'm a nosy, I'm a nosy bastard. Well, you talked about the some infighting you said that happened before. Like, what happened? What went down with that?
Well, I'm not one to tell too many stories out of school, but you know that Stakes had a brother once, right?
Yeah, I know about that. The something bad happened with the brother, right?
Yeah, well, this sept used to be a lot bigger once upon a time, and some of the members of the sept started getting into some bad ways, started getting some bad thoughts about them. Well, needless to say, the sept started taking a bad direction. They started getting some ideas, started taking some actions going against what Red wanted to do. Some others started to think they were more fit for leadership, thought they knew what this sept needed, what Gaia needed. They didn't think necessarily that the litany was the way to go. They thought brutality was what was called for, and that nothing should get in the way. As we all know, that's not the way to go. I mean, and that's something coming from me, I'm sure, but there's a time and a place. There's a way to go about things. And those that deserve it get it. that doesn't mean everyone. So, unfortunately, words weren't enough. Unfortunately, action had to be taken. And they wouldn't listen. Well, when you've known people for a long time, having them turn against you, having to take up arms against your friends, people you considered your family, people that were your family, in Stakes' case, it's a hard thing to do. But you got to stop a wildfire before it starts. It gets too out of control, it can destroy everything in its path.
So like the brother like essentially fell to the wolf guy, right? The Fenris dude.
That's what we think. Yeah. Don't know how much you know about all that, but the followers of Fenris used to be part of the nation a long time ago. And then some years back, they broke away when they thought that the nation wasn't doing enough. Now, you know that our particular group isn't fond of the nation ourselves, but we get what they're doing. They've never been particularly supportive of us, so we don't go looking for handouts, and we're not going to take pats on the head from them for doing our jobs. It's just respect's owed where it's due. You do right by us, we'll do right by you. We do what we do because it's the right thing to do, not because we're going to look for handouts from Silver Fangs or from royalty. We do it because Gaia needs it, because we're saving the world. But there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. These followers of Fenris wanted to do it the wrong way. So they broke away, they left. Now some of them still stayed behind. Kept quiet, kept secret. Tried to spread their ideas from the inside. Well, Fenris himself, he's a spirit. He's a spirit. He's an embodiment of what we are, the wolf. And for a young guru, how could you say no to that? That's what you think you are. You hear it, you see it. Represents power, it represents strength, it represents ferocity and being a predator. It's easy to be swayed by it. If you don't have the right teachers, you don't have the right mentors or guides around to tell you what to look out for, it's hard to be protected from it. Well, unfortunately, some of ours fell prey to it. We didn't even see it coming. So before we could do anything about it, it was too late. And that's kind of how we failed them. And I think that on the heels of all that, you all showed up, and it was too fresh of a wound for us to be able to accept. So when and she takes a deep sigh, when Delphine started talking about the wolf, I think we all buckled because of it. And we all freaked out. We thought we'd rid ourselves of it. We thought we were done with all that. We wanted so badly to be done with all that. We took it out on all of you. And that was wrong. It was very wrong. and now we hope that we can make up for it. That's all we can do, right? Just apologize and try to make good.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's true. Also, work together to kick ass at a mine and do some trade deal shit. I mean that too. That'd also be pretty nice. Good way to get in our graces, huh? I would like give a little playful like elbow to Rory.
She'll let out a little oof because I'm sure it was more than she anticipated. Just kind of like listening to Erin, kind of like knocks her off balance for a second, and she'll just kind of side eye him.
Well, hopefully we won't be putting y'all in any harm's way. We don't want to, be getting in trouble with your friends down south. But we'll talk about all the details of that. Red knows the deal and what's up and what we're working with. But hey, if you're all up for a fight, we're probably in for one. That mine is loaded for bear. They got all kinds of corporations up there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've taken on 5+ vampires at this point. I think no 6 actually, if I remember correctly. So I think I can handle pretty much anything else, and weird fungus creature things too. That was strange.
Now. I think one of them got the better end, the upper hand on you there, and she'll smirk and
Well,
just
that's
kind
only,
of like skip a little bit, like have a little bit more of a skip in her step.
that's only because they cheated. They. I mean, you probably know this, Aaron. They cheat. They're cheating. Did
Oh,
some weird mind
absolutely.
stuff.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Detroit was a bloodbath, those cheating fucking leeches.
Exactly. So it's not, not my fault. It's just, look, even, Ray also got hit too, just saying.
It was quite the rare sight to see you two like that, and she'll grin.
Well, luckily, now that I know it can happen, I won't let it happen again. This time, I'm just going to plug my ears and just take them out before they say anything. I think that's what pretty much Snakes told me to do, so I think I'll stick to that one. They can't fuck with you if you don't give them a chance to say anything.
Erin lets out a chuckle, and as she starts to approach another section of woods, you see that she starts to get low and slows her pace, and she holds out a hand behind her, kind of gesturing. Everyone slows their footfalls as they start approaching. Go ahead and roll a dexterity and stealth, both of you.
Can do. Are we at rage 1, by the way? I assume so? Or
Yeah.
rage 2?
I would say, well, no, we'll say you're at a rage 2, just because hell in general does make everything a little antsy.
I got 3 successes. Yay.
I got 4.
So as everybody slows to a walk, you approach a section of woods, and then Erin stops and gets low, and she points. Go ahead and make wits and awareness checks.
I am going to use the extra willpower we got from good old our Song of Celebration from before.
Absolutely.
That's another 3 successes.
I got 2 this time.
Okay. Erin gestures over to one side, where just at the edge of some brush, you can see a pheasant partially sticking out. Okay. There are 2 behind the brush over there. Rory, I want you to fire at the one that's sticking out slightly. She then passes the shotgun over to Deadbeat, or over to Forged, and says, it's going to spook the other one who's going to try to take flight. As soon as it clears the brush, you fire. You're going to need to aim and track it. So follow it with your sight. But as soon as it's clear of the brush, you fire, Forged.
See, I'm very excited to a little scared and excited to hold this weapon, and I'm just like, I'll wordlessly nod to grab it, kind of feel the weight of it, as I've never held a shotgun before, so it's very new of an experience.
Okay. So, that being said, roll your attack, Rory, whether it's dexterity in firearms or composure in firearms. If you're going to aim composure, if you're going to swing and fire dexterity, it does have partial cover, so it is going to raise the difficulty ever so slightly.
I am going with composure and firearms with my specialty in crossbows, and I'm going to burn a willpower. We got 4 successes.
Okay, 4 successes. The bolt strikes true, hitting the pheasant, almost killing it instantly as it lets out a squawk before it falls silent. Almost immediately, you hear the fluttering of wings as a second pheasant flees and tries to flutter out from behind the cover, jumping from behind the bush. Now, dexterity and firearms for you.
Let it be known here that I only have 2 dice and they're both rage. Let's do this. I got a 1 and a 1, so that would be a brutal outcome. I don't know if this will apply to shooting a bird, but I did get it.
What are your verbs and adverbs?
For my verbs and adverbs, I have bluntly, courageously, relentlessly, and I have infiltrate, pilfer, and witness.
Okay. Well, technically, you are doing damage. So that does theoretically mean that you do get a critical out of this. So the shot goes off, and the second pheasant that comes fluttering out from behind explodes, just as Aaron had promised, as the shotgun goes off and the bird just explodes into pieces in front of you, dropping a majority of the carcass to the ground, but several pieces go flying off of it in various directions. Aaron lets out a yip of a cheer of excitement at the display.
Probably really surprised right now, thrown off, because I don't really ever use guns, so this is probably the first time I've ever had something like this. So my shoulder's probably bruised right now. That kind of try to take the brunt of the impact into the shoulder, which terrible idea thinking back on it, as my shoulder hurts like hell. And I'm just kind of looking around, surprised that I hit it. And just, wait, I actually got it? Oh shit, that's fucking crazy. How do you even eat? Wait, hold on. How do you even eat this? I just kind of look at the bits and pieces everywhere.
Well, we're going to get most of the what's left, but this one's just for fun, really.
Can use that meat as bait, and she'll kind of give him a pat on his opposite shoulder, kind of like a good job.
Currently holding my shoulder with my other arm right now, just kind of rubbing it, ow, fuck.
Yeah, we can actually get some bigger game up north with the bait from this one.
Would that be near the other sept? When we're talking up north, is it that up north?
Oh, absolutely. On the way up there, we could run into some things like bobcats or possibly even a mountain lion.
So next thing you're gonna know, there's gonna be were mountain lions. I'm telling you, we have were bears, were mountain lions.
There are.
This could be a were bird.
Were bears.
Yeah, Garal fought one of them.
No shit. Interesting.
We're talking about, I was telling her that I was going to go find a weregator down where we were and wrestle it.
A weregator.
I mean, if there's werebears, werewolves, weregators is the next natural step, right?
You never know. Things can surprise you. Surprised me when I fought the bear. That being said, let's round up our kills here. Good job, both of you.
Did better than my first time, and she'll go and grab her kill and pull out the bolt and wipe it off on her pants.
So what do you say? We take these back to the bar and drinks are on me?
I do like that. And, you know, while we're talking, I mean, you guys offered that house, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but Rory, I think that sounds like a pretty good idea. What about you?
That is something that was mentioned by Ray, and I would at least like to, I would like to at least check it out. I'm not saying a definite yes yet.
Absolutely. I know that Red and Ray are supposed to be meeting in a couple days here, so I'll let Red know you guys are interested, and we'll make sure you get the keys and you can go check it out if you're interested.
That would be much appreciated.
It's our pleasure. We set it aside for you, knowing you were coming, so might as well at least go get a look.
Of course, and I'm sure after a couple of days, depending on the size, of course, it might look a little bit more appetizing instead of being on top of each other in a motel.
Well, I know the motels around here, and especially after prom, you don't want to have a black light.
Oh, I can only imagine.
So as you gather up your kills and start making your way out of the forest, what's going through both of your minds after your conversation and your encounter with Aaron? Rory, we'll start with you.
She, now experiencing it with one of the Sept from Hell, can see why those that are very cautious are very cautious. She feels it is very weird, and that with the history, especially that she has with Aaron, there wasn't a little bit more tension coming from her end, or at least any that she could pick up. She still is going to be very guarded about it, but is going to do what Ray says, kind of be polite, gather the information, see what they're willing to tell her without her poking and prodding first. She thinks that today was actually kind of fun, seeing Forged kind of out of his own element for once in a different way. Not in like the way that we've kind of been doing it where we're going on missions, just kind of a day where he's away from his phone and his tech and is actually doing something she enjoys, and she found that quite enjoyable. But she can't help but now understand the suspicion of the Hell Sept.
Now, we'll remind you, you did an insight roll, and it said there was nothing to be suspicious of, so you got to trust that roll.
Yeah.
Forged.
It is so nice that to have people who realize they've done me wrong and apologize and know that they were the one in the wrong, because it's a nice change, because I was always told I was the one in the wrong and always the problem, and now other people realize they're the problem and apologizing to me. It's a very nice change of pace. But besides that moment, it actually was also a pretty enjoyable day. I mean, hunting is definitely not my favorite thing to do in the world, but it was pretty awesome to have a shotgun and, you know, blow up a pheasant. That was pretty cool, even though now in the future I will definitely not hold it up to my shoulder like how I did. Having that moment with Rory talking about our past and kind of things that are going on felt nice, kind of in the way of like having that opening up with Delphine, but it didn't feel as uncomfortable. It just kind of feels a bit more natural, like it's not as much of a worry or as much of a concern. And still, I trust that this other Sept think they've done us wrong, and I'm 100% convinced in my theory that it was actually just Fenris making them all assholes now. Because now, with hearing what she mentioned about Sean, Dark Presence left, I am now convinced that, yep, it was Fenris 100%. That was the asshole making them mean. And now, he's gone and they're chill, and, nothing should be wrong. So, yeah, it's just kind of overall feeling pretty good, and honestly having a lot better of a time you thought you would have here than what he originally anticipated.
So as the two of you leave, you do end up heading back to the Hell Saloon, having a few drinks with Erin. She gets that one pheasant cooked up, plucked, cooked up, deboned. For those who don't feel like pheasant, they also get chicken fingers and fries cooked up, and it's an enjoyable time, swapping stories, making jokes into the evening before parting ways amicably. And with that, we move on to our final scene of the evening as a mentor and a protege meet. In our final scene of the evening, we find ourselves in the office of the Hell Saloon. Usually reserved for the employees, we find Red, the proprietor and bartender of the Hell Saloon, and Raymond, the pack leader of the Hell Hounds. They're sitting in two chairs by the desk, which is covered in papers with order forms and requisitions and time cards, but also with plans and maps and all of the documents that were gathered together in the portfolio supplied by Artie in the plans for the mines. Raymond, what's going through your mind as you prepare for this conversation with Red, having just been invited in to sit down?
I'm a little excited because other than the few phone calls I've had with Red down in Florida, I haven't really had a good discussion with him. And I kind of miss the talks that we used to have when we were up here. And I'm hoping that I can get some more insight that I've been missing from these talks, some advice, some understanding that I'm not getting down in Tampa. So I'm just ready to have this talk.
As you look around the office, you actually see sitting on the desktop a framed photo of you and Red laughing at the bar on one of your first get-togethers. He looks over and smiles. Just like old times, eh, Ray?
I'll smile. Yeah, just like old times. Definitely miss this.
I gotta tell you, it's good to have you back. You want something to drink?
Sure, I'd love something to drink.
He rolls over on his desk chair to a small counter, which appears to be a mini bar off to one side, grabs a nice bottle of scotch and a couple of glasses before rolling back over and setting them down, pops the bottle open, and pours a couple of glasses, handing one to you before lifting it up to a very, very long-awaited return.
I'll nod and then I'll clink the glass against his.
Takes a deep drink and then lets out a relieved sigh before setting it down. So, before we get into everything, let's talk. How are you? Like, how are you really? Not out in front of the party and everything. I'm sure that was all a lot. And I'd say I'm sorry for it, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought it'd be nice for a homecoming, and I should have given you a heads up, but, I thought it'd be nice.
It was definitely unexpected, but it was nice to see everyone happy for all of us to return. Honestly, I'm doing all right. I mean, we left here not in the best of ways as a pack, and with the leadership up here, we didn't leave on the best of terms, and I'm honestly glad to see you all happy and doing good. And as a pack, we've gotten better and stronger and more connected. So honestly, I can't really ask for more.
I couldn't ask for more either. I'm really, really happy to hear that it's going well. That's all I could ask for. And honestly, the way things were going up here for us, there was no way we were able to give that to you. And it was our fault. And I'm so sorry, Ray. I feel like I let you down.
I don't know exactly what you were going through while we were up here, but I'm glad to see that it's gotten better, and I understand that it's rough, especially when we were all shoved on you and we all weren't the best pups. We were hard and difficult to manage, and we caused a lot more issues than we helped. So
Well, stop. First, stop right there. You weren't shoved on anybody. You were a gift. All of you were a gift, and we were the ones who took it for granted. We were the ones who were blinded to the gift that all of you were. We were the ones who were unprepared, off our game, in the wrong place at the wrong time. You weren't shoved on anyone. You were not an inconvenience to anyone. And if we were at our best, if we were the leaders we were supposed to be, if we were in the right place, we would have been capable of giving you what you needed and making you into the guru that you're clearly capable of becoming, that you are becoming. And I hope in time that you'll see we are capable of that we are that again. And when all of this messy business is taken care of, you all will come back and know that you have a home here and know that we can be that for you. The blinders have been removed. The fog has been cleared. And winter's gone. It's summer now. We're all warmed up and in a much better place. Who knew seasonal affective disorder affected Guru too?
I wouldn't have guessed that, but I do got to say, I don't judge you or anyone else for how you really acted. I mean, everyone has bad moments. Everyone falls behind their best. And it seems we just happened to come across you all when you were struggling. And as time went on and we were separated, I'm glad that you've gone back to the way that you used to be. That's what Stake said. When we all arrived here and the surprise was sprung on us, she said it felt like she was home. And I was excited to kind of see how you all were, how you used to be. Because it was rough, but I'm happy, and I'm hoping that from here on out I can really get to know everyone here and learn from you more in a better manner.
I hope so too. We missed that old girl, and it was so happy to see her back and see her actually enjoying herself. She's been in a bad way for a long time herself. I don't know how much you know about her or how much she's opened up, but she's been through a lot. And being lupus born, she hasn't had a very long life. I mean, she's lived a lot of lives for someone so young. And it's nice to see her get to be a kid. That's really what she is. She's your mom. She likes to say it, but she's still a kid, like all of you. And get to see her smiling and enjoying herself well as much as Lupus Born can. I'm glad that she could have that. And I think that her being gone was also part of what woke us up. A part of us was missing when she left. A part of us was missing when all of you left. We didn't even realize how much having you here was part of the whole of this place. That's what I mean when I say we took you guys for granted. You had become part of hell, and hell was empty. So there's a lot of damage was done and a lot that needs to be made up for. And I know that in the means of making up for that damage, she came to us that night. She came back here after with you guys, and she said she had gotten into a fight with you. She was really upset, but I told her it makes sense. She said you were all suspicious, and you know, it makes sense. I don't blame you. We were bad people to you. Why would we suddenly be better? Doesn't make sense, does it? No. And I wish I could explain it. All I can tell you is something changed after you left. And we're still trying to figure out what. But it doesn't matter. It's changed, and that's what matters. It's gone, and that's what matters. And it being gone means that we can start over fresh. It means that we can make it better now. It means that we can fix it, and we can move forward.
Honestly, I would love to start over. I would love to learn from you again anew and spend the weeks that we spend up here working on this deal and taking care of the mine. Hopefully we can mend those bridges that were damaged before we left, because I understand that you all have changed. I could tell within the first 10 minutes of that party. I could feel you guys, how genuine you were. And everyone else was more suspicious. I questioned the sudden change because it was more jarring than suspicious. But I mean, I hope over this time that we're here, everyone else can kind of realize it too. And they'll kind of understand. Hopefully connections are made. I do hope that Sean is able to apologize correctly to Delphine and mend that, but that's a long road and a rough road, because out of everyone, she was damaged the most.
Absolutely. And honestly, I'd hope you would be suspicious. I'd hope they'd all be suspicious. That's what you've been trained to do. That's your instincts talking, and you got to trust those instincts. That's the only right thing to do. What we're going to do is show you. We're going to be consistent. We're going to be honest. We're going to show you the best side of us, which you should have seen all along. And in time, those suspicions will fade. And in time, maybe, just maybe, we'll be the family we should have been. That's all I wanted for us from the very beginning. I just didn't realize how far gone we all were, even me. I always considered myself to be the bright, smiley one of this crew, and even I had lost a step or two in those days, which is unusual for me.
I do remember how smiley and bubbly you were when I first showed up, and it was concerning to see that shift. But to speak on your train of thought or your previous sentence about, us being trained to be suspicious and us trained to kind of question, I do have a question.
Absolutely.
When we were coming up, we were described the details of the mission, and we were described the conversation that you had between Aspen and the deals that was struck. One of the arrangements that was floated, supposedly, was you asked for Delphine to be sent back up to be retried. Is that true? Is that something that you proposed?
You see him kind of take a deep breath and shake his head. I could see how it could be seen that way, but no, not retried. We had asked her to be sent up so that we could try and make amends with her. We wanted to talk to her. We wanted to bring her back up and get rid of the right of shame. We wanted to, no kidding, we knew who was responsible for what happened at Sean's house, and I think we can all say who really did the damage in that particular case. What Delphine did was wrong, but she was a follower in that case, not the leader. And I'm glad to see he's doing better, and I think it's clear he's paid his penance, so that's good. But Delphine needed a help that we weren't giving, a different kind of help. And truthfully, what she was getting shamed for, she was right. She was right. The wolf was here. So we needed to apologize. We needed to remove the right of shame. She needed to be set free from whatever guilt or whatever shame or whatever wrongdoing had happened. So yes, we did ask for her to come back. We did. That was part of it. And it probably came off a lot worse than it was intended to. But we wanted her sent up here so that we could make good on that. And it was just, yeah, it sounded bad.
During that whole bit of Red talking, I do want to roll an insight check. Just because he's correct. We should be suspicious. And I want to figure out if Aspen lied to me.
Okay.
Or if Red's fully telling the truth.
I will say, since you have previously done an insight check and believed them, you are going to be at a -1 die on this insight check.
Okay. Am I still at 2 rage?
No, I would say you're at 1 rage. You're comfortable here. You're happy to be back. You're good. There's nothing to be angry about.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, I believe him. I don't even have to tell you the result. I 100% believe him.
It doesn't necessarily mean Aspen was lying, because he did say he understood how it could be misconstrued that way. So he is admitting that there was a possibility it may have come off different than he intended it to. But he is saying that what his intentions were, and it seems he's telling the truth. He is.
I understand. I mean, from the conversation I had with Sean, he seemed greatly remorseful for his actions and what he said and what he did to Delphine. So
He's been a wreck, right? Like, of all of us, he feels like he's failed the worst. Like, yeah, we all were pricks. Don't get me wrong. We messed up, but he messed up the worst in his mind. Like, don't get me wrong, the drugs are bad, but they weren't going to kill her. Like, that's one of the nice things about being one of us. She needed the help, for sure. And she does need the help still. I mean, I think we all know that she's still using, but we could have worked on that. He could have worked on that with her. Over time, it would have worked. But he was impatient and he was impulsive. And there's a whole history with the wolf that I'm happy to get into, but he tells the story way better. So you can talk to him about it if you really want to. I'll give you my side of it, but needless to say, he got emotional. He let emotion guide him and didn't let logic lead. He didn't let what is his strong suit, or was his strong suit at one time, lead. And yeah, he's remorseful. He feels terrible about it. And he more than any of us really wants to see good come of this, but is understanding that, one, it's the least likely, and two, that it could take the longest time, if at all.
That's the truth. But I mean, I agree. Sean's actions during that time was honestly horrible. Like, the way that he treated her and the way that he talked to her made us almost shun her in a way. It was just horrible. And I'm glad that he has kind of figured that out and he's willing to try and work towards forgiveness, but it will be rough to go down that.
Well, let me tell you a secret about Sean. Sean had to kill a former protege of his because they had fallen to Fenris. So when she was talking about the wolf and there were the drugs and everything got involved with that, he got very emotional. We all lost people to Fenris. So hearing all of that, it was... Fenris hit us hard. Really hard. And it's no excuse. It isn't. It isn't an excuse, and we know that. That's why we feel bad. That's why we're repenting. But it hit him probably harder than most of us. I mean, me being the leader, I lost all of them, but leaders, as you know, we have to prepare ourselves for the possibility of losing people. But that was like his son. That was someone who lived with him like she did. Someone who learned from him like she did. Someone who, in his mind, betrayed him like she did. Now, we know that she didn't. He knows that she didn't, which is why he feels bad. But at the time, that's all he could see. He was blinded by it. Now, don't go saying any of this. That's his business, and I'm only telling you because I feel like you should know. For context's sake. That's where it comes from. He's not going to pressure her. He's not going to approach her. He's not going to... If this whole trip goes by and he doesn't talk to her, that's what it is. He understands that. He wants her to choose this. But I know in his heart, he wants to make it up to her. He wants her forgiveness more than anything.
Listening to the story, I have the glass that he handed me in both hands, kind of rubbing the glass as he's talking and just soaking it all in. I can understand that. It was very personal for him. It was basically like looking in a mirror from the past. I mean, again, like you said, it's not an excuse, but it's an understandable circumstance that drove him to that response. And hopefully Delphine slowly can kind of realize that, and maybe a talk will happen. But I don't know if forgiveness will be given, but hopefully a discussion will happen between them, and we can see what happens from there.
Absolutely. And if she has some condition to meet with him, whether it's, with you present or in front of the Sept or whatever the case may be, you just let me know. We'll meet it. Because I know he's willing to accommodate almost anything.
I'll give it a few more days. I don't want to bring it up again, but I will quickly lay it out to her, and if she has any conditions or has anything that needs to happen before then, I'll let you know.
Definitely. As for stakes, known that girl ever since she crawled into this place. She'll be okay. She just needs a couple days to run it off, hunt it off. She'll probably need an apology. That one stung, but moms always forgive. She definitely thinks of y'all as her baby.
Yeah, it was rough seeing her that mad. I mean, we've been scolded before, but I've never seen Stakes be that enraged at us in particular. And so hopefully, like you said, it was just a small spat from her, and we can kind of get the chance to apologize. Because I do want to apologize.
We've got a saying around here: hell hath no fury like that lupus born scorned.
I'll laugh at that. It's like that that's a good one. Yeah. I don't think I ever want to see Stakes that mad again, because that was honestly a little terrifying.
I once woke up to shit in every one of my shoes because I cut her off at the bar one night. That was just that. So, just trust me, she gets over it, but she will make sure she was angry.
Well, I think she let us know with the yelling, so hopefully we don't find random stakes droppings around our motel room or in my car.
I'm sure you won't. So, let's talk business. Unless there was anything else you wanted to inquire about.
Just if there's anything that you need me to do personally while we're here, and it doesn't interfere with the planning or doesn't interfere with working towards our goal, I'm willing to help out in any way that I can.
Well, Erin had mentioned that she had run into Rory and Forged out in the woods, took them for some hunting. They said they had expressed some interest in checking out the house we'd set aside in advance of any kind of agreement. So he fishes in his pocket and pulls out a set of keys. If you want to go check it out, the tag has the address on it. You guys can go see for yourselves if it's to your liking. And if you want to take us up on the offer, you just let me know. So, take a look at that. But I'm not going to ask you to go out of your way for anything up here. I know this is official emissary work. I'm not going to take you for granted again like I did before. But as far as the mines are concerned, I know you're looking for iron. It's a big job. I guess it just depends on how quickly you need it. But we have people. We've gotten in touch with the Wisconsin Sept, and we can get reinforcements from the Columbus, Ohio Sept. We've got people on standby that we can get into it. So, we don't want to put you all in harm's way if we don't need to.
We need as much iron as possible, but I think the goal is to try to set up a steady supply of some sort. I don't think we need mass quantities all the time, but a decent trickle, constant trickle, I think, is what we need.
Oh, sure. If we get control of the mine, we can get you a steady supply, no problem. We just need to get in there, get some other interested parties out of the way, and then take operations over. I'm sure they've got a stockpile up there. We probably wouldn't even need to drill. We can actually probably cease drilling and see if we can just start getting the stockpile taken. And then if that isn't enough, we'll try to do as minimally invasive removal as possible. But with Sean and the help of the other Sept, maybe we can talk to some spirits and see what's going to be least painful as possible.
Of course. I feel like we need a little bit more information on the mine itself, not only like location and information about the physical mine, but who runs it really. Because I don't want to go full guns a-blazing and wrecking the mine if potentially some bigger aspect of this mine is unknown and comes and makes even more issues for you and the other Septs after we're gone.
You don't have to worry about all that.
A little bit more.
If this is something that's supposed to be helpful to all of us, you brought the information from down south, and as far as I know, we haven't had any issues with infection, but if any were to crop up, it'd be nice to know what we need to do in order to handle it if it were to become a problem. I would feel wrong putting you guys in danger up here or putting you in the line of fire if it meant, after everything that's happened, I mean, this is a big deal, and a lot of trust would be involved in an operation like this. And if that trust isn't there, it's a lot of trust on our side too. I mean, we're going to be showing our back to your people and vice versa. And we need to know that the trust is there. And if even a little bit of doubt remains from anyone, could be a problem for the whole mission.
I agree. Which I think that not rushing this is the better option. I think planning a little bit more and trying to mend some of that trust, at least for a week or two, is probably a good idea. So that way, when we do go in and our backs are turned, we can go in without any issues.
All right. Well, I mean, if you're sure, because otherwise we could broker a deal and get you back on the road, back down to Florida, if that's for the better. I mean, I don't want to make you stay longer than you can. I don't know what the arrangement was between you and Aspen and how long you're expected to be here, or what the restrictions are of your stay.
She wanted us to get this done as quickly and safely as possible. So I think weighing both the safety of us and you and anyone else involved, we need to weigh that with how quickly we want to get this done.
Well, quickest, in all honesty, would be, realistically, to get the formula. I'm going to need something to give to the other septs, because they're doing this out of the goodness of their hearts, not out of anything they're gaining. I mean, as far as we know, there's no infection in Wisconsin. They're not even getting the shipments of fertilizer or anything yet. So they're just literally just doing me a solid on this one. So if we want to do this as quick as possible, the formula, and if you have anything else to offer from Tampa, we could establish a moon bridge so that we can start sending stuff down as quickly as possible, and then we could have you on your way back to Tampa. But quickest would be that we just do this on our own without you. And that's just honest, considering the state of things now. I would rather take you with me, because this is our first big operation. Be nice to have you by my side, my number two. But I understand if speed and expediency is important. I want to do what's best by your people first, considering everything that's happened.
That's understandable. I mean, I'll talk to the pack and see what their ideas and what their thoughts on the matter is. And I'll get in contact with Aspen to see if there's anything else they can offer to the other Septs. I think maybe having a meet up and talking to the other leadership of the Septs that are willing to help is a good idea, so we can kind of see what they want and what they're willing to offer as help. Because getting a good idea on that is probably will lead to the solidification of the idea and the plan.
Well, I'll reach out to them. I'll see who they can send, if they can send anybody. And if nothing else, I'll at least get a list of their requests for aid. But yeah, we'll get that to happen. You talk to your people and see what they're willing to offer and what they can do, and I'll see about making a meet happen.
Sounds good. Sounds like we have the beginnings of the plan.
I agree. And I'll see about getting Rick's scouting report back as soon as possible.
That'll be extremely helpful. Having a more solid idea of what's going on in the mine will help us solidify what we need to do and what route we need to go.
Absolutely. Well, business aside, let's just have a couple more drinks, hang out, and just enjoy having you home for a little while longer.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
He grabs the bottle, uncorks again, pours more into both glasses, and the two of you just enjoy each other's company, talking about the times of old. What's going through your mind after this conversation with Red?
I've missed Red. I've missed having these conversations. And Red's always been very straight with me and very to the point in our conversations. So, and he doesn't leave anything out. He will explain everything in detail. And no matter what questions I ask, no matter if it might be perceived as rude, at least he answers me fully, which is nice. And I've missed that about him as well. I'm just happy to have another conversation with him after so long in person. And hopefully the operation on the mine and the trade deal we set up goes well, and the bridges can be rebuilt, and I can call hell home again, because it has been a lingering thought that the way we left, I couldn't really do that anymore. So hopefully everything goes well.
And with that, this is where our story comes to a close this evening, but not without one last scene. Our final scene finds us in the deep, deep woods. We're at the base of a pile of stones, which is known as a cairn in the traditional sense. This one is a grave marker. And at the base of that grave marker, we find a red wolf. Lupus born. Stakes her claim. She is laid out at the base of the grave of her brother. The brother she murdered. The brother she buried. She stares at the pile of stones. There's a hardness in her eyes. And the voices in her head. As a black wolf, large and menacing, stalks around. They'll never understand. They'll never get better. Only your pack knows best. You should have stayed with them. They're not your pups. She continues to stare at the grave as our story comes to a close. Thank you so much to these amazing players. Thank you to everybody for watching at home. Go follow St. Pete by Night on all of the social media listed down below, and come join our community by following that Discord link where you could take part in many activities happening all month long, or you could find yourself joining one of our tables that will be starting soon. We've got another episode of Hellhounds coming next Friday at 7 p.m. here on YouTube, and you can catch another episode of Rage Across Tampa on Tuesday over on Twitch at 10 p.m. So go check that out. But for these amazing players, I'm Kent. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. Hellhounds is produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Dark Pact. The storyteller for Hellhounds is Kent. Tonight's characters were voiced by Jay, Lilith, Ben, Nikki, and Caity. Visit our website at stpetbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.